Peace and blessings. Welcome everyone to Calling All Marriage Podcast, brought to you by the Core 2. Welcome back as oh there. Are you excited, Boo?
I'm excited. I am.
Yeah, sweetie Boo. I'm excited to have one of our sons in Christ be here today, Mr. Larry Hodge Jr.
Thank you.
Yay!
Happy to be here.
He has a new book out called 8 Hours in the Mirror. And one of his quotes that I really is, the greatest plans are useless until they are executed. So with no further ado, Mr. Hodge, Mr. Arthur, Mr. Man of the Hour, OG,
Yes, sir.
tell us a little bit about you and your book.
My name is Larry Hodges Jr. My book is called 8 Hours in the Mirror. And it's an eye-opener for myself, and I just decided to share with others. So with this book, 8 Hours in the Mirror, it was for me. In the beginning, I was just sharing stuff I learned from years of interacting with people. I am in the hospitality industry. So as I grew, I came across people from different walks of life, from millionaires to homeless people, athletes, doctors, the list goes on and on. What I learned is a lot of people made an impact on me in conversation. The secret is that I worked overnight. And overnight, people tend to be sleepy, a little exhausted, maybe a little under the influence. And they were just more open to speak to me. And I was a welcoming person. I learned a lot from them. At this point, I decided to just write some of it down. And as I started writing, it started revealing stuff to me that I didn't know. Different things came together from different people, and it just made me realize we're all the same. It's just the commitment to what you want to do and what you believe in, and that all influences where you're going to go at the end of the day.
One of the questions I wanted to know was, how did you come up with the title for your book?
I learned all this on the job.
Okay.
So working 8-hour shift, I realized that we put a lot of time into these companies and businesses that we work for. And we try to move up in the company and gain growth there, but we really don't sit down and give ourselves any time. You know, when you just take maybe even an hour to reflect on who you are and what you believe in, you tend to grow from it. The best way to grow is to look at yourself truthfully, honestly. That's where the mirror comes into play. If you give yourself time to learn yourself and understand yourself truthfully and without any filters, any cameras, that mirror will never lie to you. You can't hide, you can't run. It's all right there. And that's how I came up with 8 Hours in the Mirror.
Okay.
So introspective on the truth of who you are so that you have room to grow. What's one of the impacts that someone has told you that have read your book that has made an impact on their lives? Can you give us one example?
One of my favorite ones is he was a lawyer, and he invests in a lot of different things from art to cars. And what makes things important is the rarity of it. So if there's 1,000 cars out there, he would purchase one just to have as a fallback. He got to use his assets. Us as day-to-day people wonder why people get all these fancy cars and stuff. Some of us, when we finally get money, we buy one. And we just get whatever's popular. And that's not the key to it. The key is to get something that's rare, that's hard to find. When you come across me, I want to give you something that you'll never hear from somebody else. Something that you could take along with you that's rare and hard to find, which gives it more value. It's going forward to help you grow as a person as well.
So I take when he read your book, he saw your book as an asset to him he wanted to be. And that's one of the impacts you want to have on people is that they read 8 Hours in the Mirror and they're able to focus on themselves for growth. Is that one of the main things? Because I know they're short stories that push people ahead. So is that part of your goal and mission with your book?
My mission is to have you understand that you can always relearn what you think you knew. Because when You're a kid, you're a subject of your environment. But as you grow older and you change environments, it's not the same. So once you understand that, you'll be more open to grow. And that's the first thing you got to do, be open to grow. If you think that the way you were taught is the only way to learn, you'll never grow. I could have easily deflected a lot of the people that I came across because I was raised this way and this is what my mom taught me. But I never argued. I shared and they shared, and we both hopefully grew together.
Part of reading it gives you nurture and a positive outlook on things that you can accomplish. Because from what I'm hearing from you, 8 hours in a mirror, matter what your environment is, once you start to look at yourself and believe in yourself and start to nurture yourself, that your environment can become secondary to you discovering who you are.
You're absolutely right. You are a person inside that you have to deal with on a daily basis. So you adapt to your environments, but when you get home, you're that same person you were when you got up that morning. And the decisions you made during that day, you got to deal with them, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. My book, 8 Hours in the Mirror, helps you to reflect on how to take in some of that information and analyze it a little bit before you just accept what everybody tell you. Like social media, for example, they project things, good and bad, just depend on the algorithm that you set up. But you got to get to know who you are and use the information that you gain from the people that interact with you to be better. You don't have to accept anything that you don't want to, or if you don't believe it yourself. Look for the truth in what people tell you, because people have agendas. Some people break you down so they can feel better. So that's what's in this book. For example, a lot of people that I talked to before writing this book was like, I don't really read. And I'm like, okay, but your impact on my life. So what I end up doing was making it a smaller book so it wouldn't be as intimidating. Because I could have did 200-300 pages easy, because a lot of the information in here is just a touch of it. Be mindful of the people around you as well, and be effective and make an impact on the people you're trying to reach. And that's what I did with the book.
One of the things that I liked about the book is that you said a lot of impactful things in a short sentence. You weren't real wordy in your book. And so that's another thing that makes it easy to read. Yeah. You say some things that really make you think. One of the examples that I was thinking about was sometimes our perception of what's beautiful.
Right.
That's different for different people. And then another part of your book, you talked about how you are in your own head. Sometimes you might see somebody that you like and you want to say some things, but you got this whole conversation going on in your head.
Right.
And that keeps you from moving forward.
Absolutely.
So you say some things in a short way that let you see the whole picture, but without so many words. So that was another thing that made the book enjoyable for me to read.
Absolutely. Yeah. I made it concentrated. Like I said, there's a lot in there, but you wouldn't tell by the size of the book. One of my residents was telling me how it took him like a month to read the book.
Oh, wow.
And not that he's not an avid reader, because he is. He's actually a lawyer as well. It was just he was reflecting a lot on the stuff. So he'll read one section and he go back and reflect and learn from it. And then he read the next one. He really was absorbing what I was saying. It helped him rethink a lot of things about himself, which is the point of the book.
So when he was doing that reflection and reading, did he come back and talk to you about it?
Every once in a while, he was like, I'll still read the book, but it's a lot to take in, because it makes you question yourself to be better. And he started sharing it with his wife, and he even showed me he started taking notes in the book which was awesome. I didn't expect that kind of impact, but he's actually taking notes, and you can see marks and little tabs where he puts stuff. He said he's just applying a lot of stuff to his everyday life. The goal was accomplished with at least one person, so I'm happy with that.
That's one thing I like about having a physical book is I'm one of those people that likes to underline and highlight and make notes as thoughts come. So I like the idea of having a physical book versus having an ebook or an audio book.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Will it be audiobook or is it already one?
It will be in the near future. That's my first book. I'm really trying to learn the ropes of being a writer, being an author. So I'm really taking my time and researching before I just up and do stuff. That's just how meticulous I am. When I go forward for my next book, because books are coming, I just know exactly what to do so I can get them out there, get that content rolling. Hi, I'm Larry Hodges Jr., and this is my book, 8 Hours in the Mirror. I would like for you to reach out to me through my social medias, Instagram, admire_the_writer. And you can also reach me on Twitter, same name, admire_the_writer, spelled as it is. And hopefully you can get into it and learn something about yourself. Open your eyes to see yourself. You got 8 hours to do it. Do it for yourself. Be better, be great. Don't just be yourself, be legendary. Now back to the episode.
So you're going to continue to focus on self-help, motivation, or you have some other things in the work?
I'm a little torn because originally this book is what I consider my first fruits. This is a God-based book. And I'm really a poet more than a writer. I enjoy the poetry, but I'm also starting to enjoy the impact I'm making by doing empowerment type books. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of everything.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have a poem you want to share with the audience? Yeah, I ain't got to put you on the spot. You can think about it. 8 Hours in the Mirror by Larry Hodge Jr. is out there. But if you have a little bar or two that you want to share, please do.
Oh my goodness.
Sound like I put him on the spot.
You did put me on the spot.
I put him on the spot. But
And I'm gonna confess a little bit. I'm actually a shy person or introvert a little bit. So
We get that.
when I get a chance to prepare for something, I'm good. But on the spot, I choke up a little bit. So forgive me for not having a poem ready. But next time, I will definitely have one.
It's interesting you say that because before my husband and I wrote our first book, we first talked about writing a book of poetry together because we both write poetry as well. You can't put God in a box. You got to write from all gifts that you are given. And sometimes the season is different. Whatever your gift is in writing, you have to be willing to explore. It might be poetry this time. It might be a romance novel the next. It might be something totally different. Don't put God in a box. Let him use you wherever he wants to use you in your writing experience.
I actually have a children's book that I wrote. I just need an illustrator to get the look that I want. And I got a couple books of poetry, so they're on their way.
Okay.
how has your, I know that you're married and you have a beautiful family, 2 sons and a daughter, and I admire your family. What
Thank
kind of impact is the book having on your family? Did you discuss it? How's it affected y'all now that they say that their dad's an author? Probably words in that book that they didn't heard all their life. Now they can share it with other people. So what has your family said to you?
They're shocked because I'm very family oriented. It's Hodges Kingdom first. And this is not strictly for the Hodges Kingdom per se. It's actually for the people, and they're like, when do you start writing? They know I do poetry, but to write something like this for people to learn and grow, because I gatekeep some of my information and I share with just my family to make sure they're on point first, and then it overflows from there. But this is like putting it out there for everybody to grow and learn from. So with that being said, they were really shocked, and they know Dad always got an idea, but for Dad to actually have a physical something that you can carry with you that they could just say, my dad did. I think they're proud of me in their own way. My daughter, she tells her friends about it. A couple of her friends bought the book, and they're like, Mr. Hodges, I read the book 3 times. I'm like, okay, that's great. I only expect one read. They're really accepting it, and they're enjoying the process as well.
I was going to say, I can only imagine that they're proud of you. It also models to them that if you really want to do something, you got to act on it and move on it,
Absolutely.
no matter what the outcome. But when you move on something that's coming from the heart, gives them the courage to move forward as well. I noticed that your wife has been very supportive and she's right there with you. I'm sure that's inspired you to keep going as
Absolutely.
well. And no doubt it's probably going to inspire her to do something she really enjoys. By taking that step forward in faith, it encourages other people, and especially those in your family, to move forward too.
Could you tell us, because like me, you say you're an introvert, can you take us through either the process of you getting your book published or the process of you writing? What was your process? And maybe you can encourage someone else like you that has all of this fruit inside of them, or as people say, pregnant inside that is ready to burst out. Could you walk us through that?
You got to be courageous. And that's something I also learned in the industry I'm in. You got to be courageous and take that step. Just take one at a time. Take one step, put it on. When it comes to books and writing, put it on paper. That's the first step. Get it on paper. You can put it in your phone and different things, but you can lose that. Everybody that writes done lost something. But if you put it on paper, that paper ain't going nowhere. Wherever you put that paper, it's still going to be there. Put it on paper and just keep writing. If all else fails, write some more until you feel content with what's on that paper. And share with people. And that's how I end up publishing, to be honest. One of my coworkers see me writing. Man, what you writing? I'm like, I don't know, I'm just putting some information down, some stuff I learned. And I know a publicist. She really do marketing, but I could reach out to her and see if you guys could get together. And that's what happened. That's how I got published. And that was a great experience. And once you get to know me, I move off of God. I know when God placed people in my life, and I no longer hold that in. That blessing is meant to be shared. So I tend to take those chances, for me as an introvert, chances in sharing with people and watch God work. And God's been working. And that inspires me more than anything. What I would say a godsend to people. Certain people not going to book, but the ones that do like it, it's going to help them. I know that for sure. So that's how I do it.
Your process is, what platform will they find you on? What platform did you use?
This been a project that's been in the making for years. When I first got the idea, I was like, I need to come up with a name. And the name I came with, Admire the Writer, to keep it open to whatever genre of writing I was going to be in. I just made a Twitter account. I didn't do much on it. I just made the name.
Oh, so tell them your account again so they get it right.
Admire the Writer on Twitter. Admire_the_writer.
And your book is on?
My book is on Amazon right now. And what else? I am on Instagram. Admire the Writer. Same thing. Admire_the_writer on Instagram. I do have a YouTube page that I just started. I put one of my poems there, and that is Legend, LHEGND, on YouTube.
So it really don't matter where you started, because I know you're not an old man, but you're not a young man, and you have this dream not denied. So
I'm actually in my prime.
You're in your prime?
So I'm ready to make things happen.
I think prime is 65, because I'm 65. But I'm glad you're in your prime. I'm glad that you're reaching out to people. I know you have some upcoming book signings, but you don't have dates yet, but you will be announcing them on your platforms. We're looking forward to seeing you in different places. So what else would you like to tell the audience out there?
So me as an author is one person. I also coached youth football for many years in the city of Cedar Hill, Texas. And that's one of my driving forces. So as the many years of coaching from over 10 years, I guess, at this point, I wanted to be an example of a person that can be successful outside of the typical sports or music. Writers are not really looked at in our community like it should be because there's some great writers out there. And for the young people, don't be shy about your writings. Write it, share it, present it in class, and people will help you get it out there. Hopefully, in the near future, I'll be able to have more content and show that you can have a good life being an author. You can be successful being an author. And one of the things I say, you got to be consistent. So expect me to still be here for a while, consistently keeping it going.
Hey, y'all, this is Lana Jones, and I just wanted to remind you that I have written my very first book. It's called Calling All Marriages. I believe that God is calling all marriages, and He's given us the gift of having a spouse in our lives. Love them with the type of love He's talked about in 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 8. You can purchase this book on Amazon. Again, it's called Calling All Marriages. And we just want to thank you for your support in advance. Now, back to the program. Sometimes I've heard it said that when you go with big publishers, they only want a certain type of writer or a certain type of material. And you can get discouraged by trying to fit into their model. If you have something to say that God is giving you, take the chance of self-publishing and get it out there, because sometimes you learn by trial and error and you develop. I think the more you write, the more you develop. If there are critics who talk about your work, that can be helpful as well. When my husband was writing his book, I was constantly asking him, how's it coming, so that he could stay engaged. At the time, I wasn't writing or doing anything. It wasn't until I started writing that I found I needed to be pushed to get back on the project.
We all need to be encouraged through the process of writing. And I was blessed to have a wife who encouraged me. Encouragement and accountability, they walk hand in hand.
They do.
Make sure you have someone around, because writing can sometimes be daunting and feel lonely. But when you have someone encourage you, who was your encourager?
My encourager was my daughter, to be honest.
Oh.
The thing with my daughter, she's very attentive, and she's a daddy's girl. So if I tell her anything, she'll bring it up. She's like, what happened to this? What happened to that you was going to make? What happened to that table that you was going to build? Like, it could be the littlest thing. I thought you washed your car today. So once I started writing, I was like, let me have something written so when she asks me, I have something for her.
Yeah.
She really was an inspiration to me getting it done.
That was your accountability
Yeah,
partner.
absolutely.
Okay.
Everybody else helped, but she was the consistent one. She's engaged, and she got a certain way about her where she's soft but assertive.
Yeah.
And I don't want to let her down. So I was like, let me make sure. Because if I don't, she'll definitely be like, oh, okay. But she'll give me that look like, you're supposed to have been doing that. That's my inspiration.
I don't want you to give away everything, but is there anything in the book particular that you, a little paragraph or something that you would like to give to the audience, or you just go by it, or is it a phrase or something to encourage the audience out there?
One of the stories, I'm going to shorten it up a little bit. So the story is about when you're a child and say you're outside playing or whatever, and you find something like an old toy that somebody lost or anything like a shiny rock. And while you're out there, you think it's the most amazing discovery. Enjoying it, having a good time, and then you bring it in the house and you try to show everybody, like, look what I found. And they look at it like, what is that? And depending on your mom, take that back outside, and it just crushes you. Because you be like, I want everybody to enjoy what I found like I enjoy it. And that's one of the first forms of criticism that kind of sticks with you as a kid. Because if it was a little rock, you probably never touch another rock just because you don't want that criticism. And you can't hold on to that. What makes you happy is what makes you happy. It might not make everybody else happy, but if it make you happy, hang on to it. Keep that little bit of happiness for yourself if that's what it is. And then the people that do like it, they'll reveal themselves. Yeah, I got a whole collection. Then they can make a friend. So that's the way my book is designed, to open you up to where you've been to where you're going.
I like the two lessons in there that you give to people around you, to remember that your words do matter and to encourage each other and edify. You get in an argument just because the person over there says it's a mountain and you look at it as a mold, a little
Yeah.
molehill. Treat it as a mountain. Give them that respect. Give them that love.
Absolutely.
And I really like that point that you brought out like that. Hey, welcome everybody. This is Fran. Look what we have. Calling All Marriages by Lana Jones on Amazon. Go out there and get yours. And the merchandise, check it out. We'll be selling the merchandise. Don't forget about your boys' book out there. Toxic Men and the Women That Love Them. Underscore is called Men Cry Too. Find out where the trauma is and make a difference in your life and the lives that you love. The book is about identifying your trauma and the trauma of those around you to go to another level. Don't let the title fool you. Go out there on Amazon and get the book, Toxic Men and the Women That Love Them. God bless each and every one of y'all. Calling All Marriages by Lana Jones. Amen. Y'all go out there and have a great day on purpose. This has been a very strong and powerful endeavor. We love people who come on the show. This is Calling All Marriages. One of the components is education of yourself.
Right.
Education of knowing who you are. And books like this enhance that, make you look at yourself so you don't expect something else from someone else that you haven't even given yourself, which is kindness, grace, and encouragement. So that's how that ties into Calling All Marriages and your book that you talk about. Larry, is there anything in your mind that you would like to share, maybe not related to the book, maybe just in general, things that you do in the community, like coaching, just things that you do that maybe you could encourage someone else to, hey, if he can do it, I can do it too.
I'm just a regular working guy. And no matter where you are in your life, there's lessons all around you. You just got to look at them to learn. For example, this beautiful couple in front of me. I love marriage. I've been married for over 20 years. And for you guys to create this platform for married people or married couples to gravitate to, because it's not being pushed to the forefront. A lot of young people don't think marriage is possible.
Yeah.
Like it don't even exist, and it's not even in their plans for most part. Because like I deal with young men mostly from ages 6 all the way up to 18. And one thing I can say that it's coming back. I see long-term relationships. These young guys, they sticking to one girlfriend. So us older people, we be like, oh man, all is lost. They don't know anything. I'm just going to say, for one that's on the front line with them, and turning around, this will be something they'll be able to refer to later on once they get married and so forth.
All right, that's good to hear. One of the people that you were telling about your book said, I don't read. My husband and I both, we've always had a love for books because there's so much learning in books. I think it's so important. I like the strategy that you used in that you created a smaller book. You have a lot of profound sayings in your book that have deep meaning, but you say them in short words. And so it is a book that causes you to self-evaluate and contemplate, because I'm a proponent for spending quiet time with yourselves, because spending quiet time is one way to get to know yourself really well. Books can help with that. I just think it's important to continue writing because there are people who love books. To those who say, I don't read, sometimes the hardest part has been getting them to read. But once we got together and talked about some of the things in the book, it turned that around for some people, caused them to become more engaged and to spend time reading the book assignments. So it can help us to learn in the process of living.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why we have people like you on this podcast, 8 Hours in the Mirror by Larry Hodge Jr. That's why we had it. That's why we have Calling All Marriages podcast. So we understand. And I think when we do things like this and we have podcasts, what's the other thing where they just talk? Whatever they have, any kind of avenue that you can use to uplift the kingdom. And that's what we really appreciate about you, that you are a man of God and what you are doing is purposeful. It's not just, oh, let me write a book. It's to uplift people, it's to edify people, to invest in the kingdom. And of all things, like your name, legend, it leaves a legend.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm working on far as my YouTube is to show people that don't read something that they can still get the information. So
Right.
eventually, once I'm done with my tour for my book, I'm going to go in depth on my YouTube page.
Okay.
Instead of writing a deeper book, I want to open it up to the people that don't read, and also the people that read the book. They can also get all those questions answered. In the book, I even said I'll touch on the subject. Now, that's for another time. With the stuff in my book, you could pick one thing and go on for hours. I cut a lot of stuff short to make sure this book stayed small. So I'm gonna go in depth on my YouTube in the near future with some of the details of that.
And here's what I find amazing too is whatever God is giving you is once you get started, it's like it starts the ball rolling. He starts giving you all
Absolutely.
kind of ideas for something else and then something else, and it just
Right.
keeps growing and multiplying. It's like he doesn't want you to stop. It makes me think about the story I read one time of the guy who said he went to heaven and he looked over there and he saw all these gift boxes that had never been opened. So he asked God, "What is that about?" He said, "Those were all the gifts that I had for you that you never opened." I don't want God to say that about me. It's
Right.
okay. What gift have you given me that I haven't opened yet, that I haven't explored, that I was too scared to try, or I let some excuse hold me back from
Good.
exploring that
Yeah.
and getting that done? And sometimes we can discourage people by talking about that's going to cost too much. And you haven't been to school for it. I'm just saying, don't be afraid to use the gifts that God has given you because when you take one step, He's going to give you some other things to keep that ball
Absolutely.
rolling.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. One of my favorite stories is Joshua. Encourage yourself, because God has already had the path open for you. And he just tells, take a step at a time. Like we say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And I like that you emphasize that about your book. So we want to encourage each and every one of y'all out there.
Mhm.
You have a voice. You have a platform that you can use, a podcast. You can get in touch with any of us and we'll tell you, hey, you can go here and start your own podcast. You can use your phone or maybe go to the next step and go to DreamWorks. There's plenty of opportunities out there. One of the things that we like to say here, me and my wife, is that there's no gatekeepers here. If they come on our show, you can email them, see them so that they can make a difference in your life. And us here at Calling All Marriages, we want to make a difference in your life. That's why we have that beautiful saying.
Let's
That is one of our mantras. We believe in talking. We believe
Very.
in communicating with each other, not just
Yeah.
talking. We hope that you enjoy the podcast. Do you have any last words for the audience, Larry?
Don't just be you. Be legend.
Be what God has made you, crafted you to be. Yeah, be
Right.
what your Father has called you to be.
That's
Use
right.
those fruits. We want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning into Calling All Marriages podcast, sponsored by the Core 2 LLC. You can find us on YouTube,
And Facebook?
Instagram, all under the mantra, the Core 2. That's TWO. And you can see us on our website, of course, at thecore2.com. That's TWO. God bless each and every one of you. This has been Calling All Marriages podcast with our special guest, Larry Hodge Jr. God bless each and every one of y'all. Have a great day on.
Amen.